Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it is such a beautiful Sunday afternoon, evening. It's 6 o'clock, right on the dot. And so I thought I would sit down right before I get ready to vlog here in just a little bit, and I thought I would read a few meditations. So I brought with me the 2 Melody Beatty books. I haven't even looked to see what the meditations are. So let's hope that the universe speaks to us and gives us really good meditations today. Something that we need to hear, something that will really push us into the right, direction. I say this on my vlogs every Sunday night, or I try to say it every Sunday night, but I love Sundays. Sundays are one of my favorite days of the week, if not my favorite day of the week, because it's just such a relaxing day. And, when I was growing up as a kid, my mom and I would go to church. Well, even before my parents were separated, we'd go to church and come home and eat lunch, and then my dad would take a nap on the couch. And then after my parents got separated, we would stop at this place called Rosalind Bakery, and my mom would let me get a couple donuts and a cookie or whatever. They always had like holiday-themed cookies. And then while she was cooking lunch, which was usually like chicken noodle soup, like that Mrs. Knorr's or Mrs. Grass's or whatever, it had a little ball in it. I always wanted to drop the golden ball nugget in there that had all the spices in it. But she would make that with like tuna fish salad sandwiches or something, or peanut butter sandwiches. And then I would sit like on our porch and I would read the comics while I was eating my donuts and stuff like that with like a glass of juice or milk or whatever. And then we would eat lunch, and then I would nap or something, and then we would just like watch a TV show or a movie, and then we would go to bed early. And I can remember cranking open, especially like in the spring, in the summer, cranking open my bedroom windows and being able to hear the creek outside. And because I had a creek that went behind my bedroom, like in the woods. My house was built into the woods, and so you could hear the wind, you could hear animals, you could hear the creek and things like that. And I just remember feeling so like relaxed and serene and peaceful and happy. And so for me, Sundays have always been this day of like relaxing, and finding peace and serenity. Even not on like a religious necessarily point, but like on finding a serene kind of, finding some serenity and peace in your life. And so on Sundays, on my vlog, I usually say, for the week ahead, get relaxed, rejuvenated, refreshed, and renewed. Or I say all our words, I try to say. So for the week ahead today, I want you to get relaxed, rejuvenated, refreshed, and renewed for the week ahead so that you're prepared and you have a strong foundation for going into this upcoming week, All right, so with all of that being said, let me see what meditations we have. All right, it is February 26th, I believe. Yeah, okay, February 26th. Let's see. That one is just called 12-Step Programs. So let's read from the Journey to the Heart. Well, hi, Mr. Boo Radley. Mr. Boo Radley just came up here. Embrace the lessons of the night. Okay, this will be interesting since we're getting ready to go into the night. February 26th, embrace the lessons of night. Oh, embrace the lessons of night. I reached Wyoming's Yellowstone Park late, much later than I had planned. The park was sprawling. I wasn't certain how to find the lodge. I couldn't find anyone to ask for help or directions. Tired and exhausted, I couldn't make sense of the map. I found myself driving around and around, becoming almost frantic. Suddenly, beyond the treetops, I spotted a bright light. Good, I thought, it must be the lodge. I drove a little farther, then stopped the car and stared in awe. What I saw stilled my heart and calmed my frantic pace. Above Yellowstone Lake, nestled between 2 mountain peaks, glowed a huge, white, full moon, the largest I'd ever seen. The pines stood guard, quiet and still. A light layer of snow and ice frosted the lake's surface. I pulled to the side of the road and watched the moon set. It was the single, most beautiful, breathtaking scene of the journey. I would never have seen this scene in the daytime. I would never have seen this moon had I not gotten lost. I would never have seen it had it not been this particular time of night. So maybe I'm not lost, I thought, and maybe I'm not late. Maybe what I'm really doing is taking a beautiful evening drive. When we're lost, when the way gets dark, sometimes we see things we never would have seen in the daylight. Sometimes the lessons we learn in the darkness are breathtakingly beautiful. Enjoy the sunshine, but trust the darkness too. It is more than to be endured. It is to be experienced and later cherished. I love this meditation, other than it being absolutely beautifully written by Melody Beatty. I just love this meditation, and it's really talking about changing perspective is what it's talking about, you know? And I think like this whole idea of, you know, looking at things in a completely different way. You know, many times in my life where I have like been lost or whatever, and then somebody will say to me, you're exactly where you need to be in life. And I think about that, you know, and I think about like things that wouldn't have happened or I wouldn't have witnessed or seen had certain things not occurred or I hadn't gotten lost, you know, and getting lost is like one of those things, I think. Hold on a second. There was like one line in here that I really, really liked, and it was like making me think of something. Hold on a second. I would never have seen this scene in the daytime. I would never have seen this moon had I gotten lost. I would never have seen it had not this particular time of night. So maybe I'm not lost, I thought, and maybe I'm not late. Maybe what I'm really doing is taking a beautiful evening drive. You know, so for me, this whole idea of taking a beautiful evening drive goes back to, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this on here like years ago, but I read from the Buddhist monk, I think you pronounce his name Thich Nhat Hanh, but anyway, I can't pronounce his name, but he wrote a book called Peace in Every Step, I believe. And I had listened to like meditations of his, and I had, you know, had read some of his other little small meditations. And there was one meditation that really stood out to me, and it was about like when you're like driving to work and you're, you know, listening to music and you're stuck in traffic and there's somebody in front of you and like, you know, they're going really slow and you're, you know, getting angry and whatever. Like, ask yourself in that moment, what are you doing? Okay? And if you're answering anything else, like I'm stuck in traffic or I'm going to work, whatever, that's not what you should be answering. What you should be answering is, I'm listening to music. And that keeps us very present in the day and where we're at for that moment. One of my favorite sayings ever that I learned from a friend of mine several years ago is, where are my feet? You know, whenever I get kind of overwhelmed and I think about, you know, 2 months down the road or 6 months down the road or a week down the road, or I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to do this. You know, I've keep this calendar book and I have like this next week I have a lot of things I have to do. And I can get myself real worked up about it and real overwhelmed. Like, well, I have therapy on Wednesday and I have my spine specialist on Thursday and I have a hair appointment on Friday and I've got to find rides to all these places and blah, 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 whatever, you know? And it's like, I can get myself really overwhelmed with all this kind of stuff, you know? And then instead of just looking at it and in the moment really realizing how blessed I am, you know, to have the life that I have, and it really goes back to gratitude, and it really goes back to asking yourself, where are your feet? You know, what are you doing today? Right now, I'm making a video. Right now, I'm reading a meditation. Right now, I'm talking to you guys. And that's something that I love to do. That's something that I feel so grateful that I'm able to do. So I don't want to lose sight of that. I don't want to lose sight of that and get caught up in stuff that I have to do 6 months down the road or a year down the road, you know, and get all tangled up in all of that crap, you know. Let's just take it one day at a time. Let's, you know, set myself down and ask myself, where are my feet? My feet are right underneath me, and I'm in today. Let me know what you think about that meditation in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.